Arsenal have jumped right into the deep end of the transfer window and seem to have jumped out with Christian Norgaard, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Noni Madueke, Victor Gyokeres, potentially Eberechi, and the man we'll be discussing today, Cristhian Mosquera. A discounted price tag that sits below 20 million ensures Arsenal pile on top of their current squad depth and current and ever-growing Spanish core. A lot of people taking in this video now may not know who Cristhian Mosquera is, so let's just cover that first. The young Spaniard has only recently turned 21 as of a few weeks ago and has been with Valencia since he was just 12 years old. The towering young defender is highly rated amongst the up-and-coming Spanish generation, with various different links in the past to Chelsea, Liverpool, Milan, Man City, Atletico and even Real Madrid. As a player now, to put it quite simply, this is a fast, raw, dominant, beastly dual-winning centre-half that shares both composure on and off the ball. Let's get straight into it. To compare his playstyle to existing footballers, just to get your imagination flowing, I'd say he's very similar to Antonio Rudiger and Wesley Fofana. Of course not as good as either of them yet, but he shares very similar strengths. For Valencia, he's been utilised in the middle of a back three, to the left and right of a 4 and 3, and even at right back. Defensively, he shares excellent recovery pace and transition. Before he chases back, he shows off his super agility, allowing him to turn quickly to then put his speed to good effect. His fine agility means he can shift his frame however the play sees fit accordingly. This leads to the act of him chasing down the ball, or man, unleashing one of his best traits, clutch defending. One of his best traits is his speed, of course, but Mosquera is incredible at this. This varies in defending 1v1s, defending the box, and the wide channels. Let's start with 1v1s. When a dribbler is running at him, twisting and turning, he stays sharp, on his toes, itching to engage. He keeps a slight distance but leans forward ready to engage at the right moment, timing it with real class. At times it looks like the attacker can't escape Mosquera's steps due to his pace, anticipation and strength as well. If you do manage your way by him, he'll likely use his 6'2" size and speed to recover. He's a beast. Moving closer to the goal now, and although Mosquera excels with large spaces to defending using his speed, he guards his goal exceptionally and does brilliant in congested spaces. Blocks, interceptions, tackles, slide tackles. If you were to show a highlight reel to someone who's never seen a defender in football caught in the act of defending, he'd be a pretty decent example. He's not afraid to throw his body and long stocky legs in front of his man, but does so without being too reckless. Mosquera has a knack of aggressively getting to where he needs to be just in time. He's aggressive but not too aggressive. In the 82 appearances he's made in the La Liga as a 21-year-old, he's only given away 4 penalties, which isn't bad for a defender playing for a team that constantly defends. If we look at his wide defending now, you may have already seen he's a master in these spaces. It's truly his bread and butter. Mosquera loves driving across into wide spaces to take care of that wide threat, asserting real intensity. But something I noticed massively within this game is that he enjoys using his speed to take over the moving ball and jump ahead of the tackle, which then wins a foul with his size and long legs, meaning he buys fouls more with 50-50 duels, avoiding that physical contact so much but maximising his engine. When he competes against an attacker that looks to move, drop deep and receive the ball, he's pretty effective in following his footsteps, staying tight to his man and finding a way to simply stab his foot through the ball and through the man. Talking of the ball now, Mosquera exemplifies calmness and composure in possession, often placing his foot on the ball to take in the opposition numbers and where his teammates are, before playing a safe pass, mostly to the side. He's a comfortable forward passer that can confidently step out with the ball and escape opposition pressers via his swift change of direction, fooling the presser and creating space for others. His passing range is limited, however. If he does try a more looped direct ball, it often lacks accuracy and the right amount of weight, so it's best if he keeps his play simple, as he usually does, with a clear, right foot bias. So as we can tell, a pretty raw, aggressive but fast defender that is very young. So how does this fit into Mikelarteta's vision for Arsenal next season? So this is Arsenal's likely 11 with all the new signings coming in. Of course you could have fabrizio on that left wing, but we'll see with that one. As you can see, Mosquera doesn't fit into the starting 11. That'll be because he's a backup and maybe even a future replacement should William Saliba leave the Gunners. But to me, I think he's a perfect backup. This embodies Saliba's qualities fantastically, and he's not quite ready for that top level yet. And my only concern with the signing, with him being a backup for two fantastic centre backs, is that I hope his development doesn't stall, slightly like Kivior has as well. But let's have a look at how he actually fits into the 11. He's certainly a backup for Saliba, and I think he complements Gabriel fantastically, just like Saliba. But when we look at Arsenal's shape, we look at the aggression, we look at the physicality within the side, this is going to be very effective within the counter press. It's great rotation. Arsenal need that little bit of depth, that quality in depth, and now they've got it with signings like madueke, Norgaard and Mosquera. When we look at Arsenal within their shape, you can push Declan Rice and Odegaard into these positions. With the signing of Zubimendi, it allows Declan Rice to get into these positions to show off his immense ball carrying, his immense ball retention, his immense running and physicality and power with the ball. Something we've seen a lot from Arsenal last season was a bit of a 2-3-5. You have Lewis Skelly and Timber in these fullback-like positions that are a little bit more narrower, with Zubimendi now holding that role as Mosquera and Gabriel push up. It allows everybody to get into their best positions, but you can also move into a 3-2-5 as well, with Timber tucking in. And something that I looked at as well is Mosquera playing as that right back, and Saliba, Gabriel and Mosquera coexisting on the same pitch together. It seems crazy, but it could work. Not could, it can work. You have Lewis Skelly inverting from left back to join Zubimendi in a pivot as Declan Rice pushes up. You have Gabriel a little bit wider, Saliba and Mosquera in that preferred right centre back role. Mosquera as a right back isn't his traditional position, but if you're coming up against very fast, very tricky, very difficult goal scoring wingers that really do affect that final third, Mosquera is the type of player who can really handle them. He can limit them. He did it to Vinicius Junior last season. He can do it to some of those top wingers. It allows Lewis Skelly to show his talents within the midfield, and within this midfield pivot you've got two very fast players that can play through the lines, that can access the likes of Rice, Odegaard. You have somebody here that can drift in and out, Saka who can move in and out. Lewis Skelly can access that next line, and within this 3-2-5 shape, it may not be the favourite shape of course, but you've got so much aggression and pace and power and security in transition. If you look at the players here, they're all fast, they're all physical, they're all ball winners, they're all duel winners, and they can all chase back fantastically. Arsenal can really push high and really pin teams in possession, allowing for them to really dictate. But I think with Arsenal this season, with the signings that they've been making, with potentially Eze coming in as well and Victor Gyokeres, I think this is a slight hint towards bringing in different tools in order to break down low blocks. Of course it's well in the past now, but Arsenal used to be a little bit reliant on set pieces, corners, and really to get them goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Tottenham recently, we saw a photo of a training schedule with Thomas Frank introducing long throw auditions into the team. There's nothing wrong with that. It's maximising marginal gains. Those few extra goals that you get from this could lead to extra wins. Those extra wins could lead to a Premier League title or whatever, a trophy, who knows. When a game is tight, it's areas like this where you can really threaten it. But there's lots of flexibility within this. People do like to joke a lot that Arteta makes a lot of defensive signings, with Calafiori who can be added to the mix of this. But it does add so much flexibility in shape. When you look at how a team presses, when you look at what they have in attack and the different things, you can line up accordingly within your shape up with different players in really to approach that. It gives Arteta all those different options, and sort of gives him no excuse as well not to win a trophy next season when you've got so much flexibility and so much power within the team. Mosquera is of course 21 and you're not going to expect too much from him as of just yet. His weaknesses mainly sit within his raw nature. He's a raw player. He's only made around 90 senior appearances for Valencia, so those weaknesses that you may see is why he's not going to be thrown straight into the starting 11. But that doesn't mean he's not got huge potential and that he's not capable of actually fitting into Arsenal's starting 11 when Saliba, when Gabriel may fall injured. This is a signing for the future. It adds to Arsenal's Spanish core, it adds to Arsenal's overall squad depth, quality within the squad, and I think Mosquera could be a really good player for Arsenal. Certainly a tidy bit of business for around 15 million as well. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Where do you think Arsenal are going to finish next season? Will they win the title, or is it going to be second, third or a fourth place finish? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.